I bought this microphone for just $16 on Amazon. While I was waiting though, I was sent this video clip.
I wasn't really expecting to see this much of a difference. So the NW-700 circuit board looks like this. I don't know what it means, but the NW-800 looks like this. And if we flip them over and look at the other side, the NW-800 has nothing on it, whereas the NW-700 has these two capacitors, which I believe are what's required for it to use phantom power. So it's just sort of different. The NW-800 has two capacitors on the front. This has them on the back. It's definitely not the same microphone, just in a different housing. It is of a higher quality than the NW-800.
After watching that clip, I did find a post where the commenter said that Neewer switched the internals of the 700 to the 800 and the 800 to the 700, so I started to worry, what if I bought the wrong version of this microphone? The only way to find out is to open it up, and we'll get to that. Inside the box you get the microphone, a foam windscreen, a female XLR to male 1/8 inch TRS cable, a 5/8 inch to 3/8 inch mic stand adapter, documentation, and this pretty cool shock mount that I forgot to add in the picture. The regular price for this microphone is just $24.50. However, I paid $16.59 at the time of this recording. Link in the description. Build-wise, this is a side address XLR only microphone with a metal body, sturdy grill, and it has a pretty sharp paint job. The mic weighs just 11 ounces. And now it's the moment of truth. What's inside of this microphone? Did I get the right one or the wrong one? Let's see. Of course it's not. Specs-wise, the microphone has a cardioid polar pattern, a frequency response of 20 Hz to 16 kilohertz, an equivalent noise level of 16 dBA, a sensitivity of minus 38 dB, and a signal-to-noise ratio of 78 dB. However, take these specs with a grain of salt. Even in their own documentation, there's a notation that says, "We apologize for being unable to provide any further information on possible changes in the related specifications of this product." I don't think I've ever heard that before. This is what the Neewer NW-800 sounds like when talking directly into the front of the microphone. This is what it sounds like talking into the side of the microphone from 1 foot away. Here's what it sounds like talking to the side of the microphone from 2 feet away. Here's what it sounds like talking into the rear of the microphone from 1 foot away. And here's what it sounds like talking into the rear of the microphone from 2 feet away. Now, if I was an elite gamer typing away, here's what it would sound like. Now, if I was an elite gamer trying to be quiet typing, here's what it would sound like. Now I am going to compare it to another budget microphone, the K669C. This is the Neewer NW-800. This is the K669C. But here's how the K669C sounds in comparison to the Neewer NW-800. Gonna switch back to that microphone right now. All right, now I'm back on the Neewer NW-800, and here's how it sounds in comparison to the K669C. Chime in the comments down below on which one you think sounds better. If you enjoy this channel, please subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. When it comes to pros, obviously you have to look to the first one, and that is cost. Even at its original cost, $24.50, that is not much of an investment if you're starting a podcast, a live stream, or content creation of any sort. So it's not like you're going to be out a bunch of money if you decide to upgrade to something else. I'm going to link the next two pros together because they go hand in hand. One being the build quality. For this price, I think this is a good build. And for this price, I have to say, I like the paint job. It's got a nice flashy gold accented grill. The gold grill looks really sharp in my opinion, and I think they've done a good job of making it stand out even though it's a budget microphone. Another pro in my opinion is that it came with a ton of accessories. Wasn't expecting that, but happy to have them in case I need a cable like they sent. The shock mount I would assume will fit the K669C and possibly other microphones I have. So I appreciate the accessories. And the last pro I have is the sensitivity, it only requiring a little bit of gain and allowing this UM2 audio interface, this cheap little audio interface, to drive it at 9 o'clock. That means you can drive the microphone just fine without pushing the preamps hard at all, and thus reduce some of the noise that you could have introduced from preamps if you had to crank her up. Although on the cons side, let's be honest, the audio quality, even compared to the K669C, is terrible on this particular microphone. Now, maybe some people have gotten the Neewer NW-800 that had the other internals in it and it sounds good to them. But in my opinion, this butted up next to any other microphone that I own sounds awful. Could you use this microphone if you didn't have anything else? Of course you could. And especially if you don't have a co-host that the audio is compared to, people may let you slide, and whatever mic you own is always going to be the best mic for the job because it's the one you have. And it sounds better than a phone call or anything like that. We have to talk about the elephant in the room, and that's that little statement on their own paperwork, which would be the lack of consistency in build. So if they don't know what the specs are, how am I supposed to know what the specs are? You know, if they think it's going to change or it could change from mic to mic and such, that doesn't actually instill any confidence. Another con is a test I should have did earlier, but I didn't, and I'll do it now. If you're tapping on the boom arm, the shock mount should be absorbing a lot of that, and it just does not seem to do that. It has a cool little look to it, but it doesn't seem to really have a lot of functionality. Had I not took this big divot out of the windscreen, I would have returned the entire set, but I wasn't going to return it after I ripped the windscreen. So what I will do, since I like the body of the microphone, is I'm going to keep it, eventually order the 700, take the 700 internals if they're correct, and put them in here because I like the look of this one better. If you feel differently, chime in the comments down below. If you haven't subscribed to my free monthly gear newsletter, then definitely check out the link down in the description. This month, I share an interface that has come back to life. It was going to come out from another company, got scrapped, and now there's a new company that has brought it to market, and it does look very interesting in that sub $150 category. Something to keep your eye on. And many, many more product releases in that newsletter. So subscribe to that free monthly newsletter today. As always, thank you.